Manchester, England.
All right, Tokyo!
To the scenic shores of Chicago.
Are you ready?
I'm sorry, homie. We don't do no happy songs.
I don't know how to tell you this, but
Hello and welcome to Tapes You Leave Behind. I am your host, Brian, joined as always by Emerald.
It's me.
And we are back. It has been a while.
A very, very
Yeah.
long while.
No particular reason, just haven't gotten around to it. And I've been working on and off on this episode for what feels like half of a year.
It's a lot.
It is a lot. It has been a lot.
It's a lot of information.
Yeah, and a lot of stuff I'm not super familiar with. So there's been a bit more like reading, listening, kind of digesting, breaking apart. Because again, as we've done recently, we're going to be diving into some songs about actual things, and in this case, maybe some not actual things. It's going to be a hybrid history and review episode for sure.
So get your brains
Get your brains,
turned on.
get your beers, because we're going to the South.
Buys beers.
It's a Southern rock opera. And I don't think there is anything better than, parking lot
In your
beer fest to go
pickup.
with Southern rock. Is
Yeah.
there really? And
No.
You say pickup, I think maybe like Trans Am for this one.
Oh,
We're going back in time a little bit.
okay. I was just thinking Country Boys.
So we're going for, as I said, Southern Rock Opera. If that doesn't mean anything to you, that is the name of the album we're looking at. It is the third album by the Drive-By Truckers and is a rather ambitious album by a band, even according to them, to just go out and try to make A, a rock opera, and B, about something as grandiose as you'll see as they attempt to do.
And a touchy subject.
And a lot of touchy things in it as well. Yeah, they addressed social issues, real life people, a lot of real life people, as you'll find out, a lot of fake people, a lot of people who are clearly based off real people who have been changed to just fit, into stuff. It's gonna be an epic, and thankfully the album itself is kind of in two parts, so we will also be doing this in two parts.
Is it going to be like both parts are going to be super long?
I mean, they're going to be long, but not like 3-hour epics or something. I mean, it's as long as we make it, I guess. We'll see how long we ramble for about some of the subjects.
Stick with us.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit of rambling at times. Some songs are going to have more, history than others. Others are going to be more about the music, because while it's entitled Southern Rock Opera, I don't think there's much really of a singular story throughout the whole album as much as it is like a singular theme.
Okay.
So
yeah.
the second half definitely has more of a to B
Linear story. Mm.
and even that it's more of like the second half of the second side.
Okay.
Side D is definitely A to B, a story. The rest of the album, not so much. Though, it does kind of have pieces that'll flip in and out, so there'll be a lot of callbacks.
Stringing it together.
As this whole thing is about one episode and a review, you should probably listen to it first. I said Southern Rock Opera, Drive-By Truckers. Specifically, we're going to be looking at it from the perspective of the recent deluxe reissue they did, which is important because the track order is slightly different.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so to
Interesting.
get it to fit better on vinyl, they yanked 2 tracks out of the actual album and just threw them on like a bonus disc.
Oh, okay.
One of those that normally happens to anyway, but another one had to be taken off to prevent too much track squeezing on
Compression,
side
yeah.
A or on side disc 1.
That makes sense.
So let's get into it. So what is this? Drive-By Truckers, Southern Rock Opera. As it's their third album. But they've been working on it pretty much the entirety of the band. It was like Patterson Hood had this idea of making who's one of the main songwriters. They have 2 at this period, Patterson Hood and Cooley. But this is Hood's idea for years. He's like, I'm gonna make this Southern rock opera. And everybody's like, all right, dude, you do that. And he's like, I got this grandiose idea. For years he talked to people about it. And they're like, you're crazy. You can't make that. You're just some Nobody. Like,
Yeah.
You can't just do that as an album.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he proved him wrong. And nobody probably better than him to introduce it. So I'm going to read a snippet out of the intro to the booklet that it came with the new one. It's been nearly a quarter century since I began writing something called Betamax Guillotine. It was a period piece, a love letter to 70s arena rock of our youth and coming-of-age story about a fictitious rock and roll band in the post-civil rights South. An examination of coming to terms. It's the summer after high school graduation, and our hero hasn't played his guitar in 2 months. His band was over the night that Bobby died. No more partners in crime. At night, he dreams he is fronting his ultimate rock and roll band. All their equipment stacked atop their anvil cases. What better way to measure a band's worth to an 18-year-old? The highway's calling, but it ain't as romantic as it once seemed. So a lot to take in right there. For once, he's setting a scene. He clearly has a character
Yeah. That he relates to. Clearly.
to and is reflected throughout the music. That's cool. Again, that's definitely a hallmark of a rock opera. There's a lot of famous ones throughout history, like the Who's Tommy, which objectively makes no sense if you try to pick it apart and listen to it.
Yeah.
But I would argue that one's at least telling a story. There's a lot of songs on here that are so divergent for whatever the actual song is that it's more of just a collage, I think, than an actual thing. Mm-hmm. But I think that also gets the idea across that he's talking about that is a love letter to 70s arena rock. Even his name of calling it Betamax Guillotine is sort of a really dark joke to what this album's actually about.
Yeah, that's such an interesting name.
Which we're going to get into a lot more in the second half, but I'll just go ahead and say what that's about right now. So a lot of this, these 70s arena rock coming from the South, is that this is based heavily on Leonard Skinner.
Yeah.
If you're not familiar, big Southern rock band where about like a third of the band died in a plane crash.
Yeah.
While they were still quite large, and there was a rumor for a long time that one of them got their head cut off by like a VHS player in the plane.
Oh, I'd never heard that.
So,
Oh my
so the term
God.
Betamax Guillotine he's using there for this fictitious album is based on that.
That's crazy. That's so crazy. I
Yeah.
never heard that rumor before.
Yeah, it's not true. Like as far as I can tell, it's not at all true.
It's just
That
one
Van
of those
Zandt got his head
fun-
cut off by
fun-
a VHS player, but yeah, it's one of those
Yeah.
schoolyard things, And they say the VHS player cut his
Yeah,
head off.
Just
Yeah.
like, yeah. Wow.
No.
That's interesting. For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. So without further ado, I figured the best way to approach this review of the album and kind of history is just go song by song, because that gives us both. It's a story, so it makes sense to go from A to the end, even though, again,
It's not
story's
in a-
loose.
Yeah.
But it does help to break it down and make it easier to digest. Mm-hmm.
Totally.
Like any story, you start at the beginning. Side A, first track, Days of Graduation, is a Patterson Hood track. So yeah, definitely like little more than spoken word for the vocal delivery
Yeah.
throughout the song. Like heavy narration, scene setting. Starts out with very like dissonant music on this background, like almost like school bells or something ringing.
Right. Yeah. It sounded like a schoolyard.
Like
or
I
something.
mentioned earlier, Tommy is an example of rock opera, but I feel like that intro is more The Wall. Like it's that kind of quiet coming in, like coming from something else almost in the distance, and the way like the wall loops, like from like
Yeah.
front to back. This feels like almost like an attempt at something to like emulate that.
Yeah. Is dripping in style.
Very much
Cool.
so. Yeah, it's
Very
super cool. Like Bobby out riding in the night with this girl.
Yeah.
And it immediately, it has like hallmarks of things you'll hear throughout their entire discography. We got the South, we got car wrecks. I swear there's one on like every other album of fatal car accidents. And if you're playing, want to play a drinking game at home, our first mention of Leonard Skinner is in this song.
Yeah.
Talking about the rumor
It's
that
a long
after the
song.
car crash, when the paramedics still got there, they say Freebird was still playing. It's a very long song.
That's cute.
There's a good flavor there. Now, interestingly, I didn't find any information on this actually in the booklet for this album. Mm-hmm. But in another one of those, they talked about how when they were first starting, like the day for their first practice as drive-by truckers, a guy who was going to come in and play guitar for them died in a car wreck on the way to
That's
like
crazy.
band practice day one.
Maybe that's
And
why.
I mean, it has to be.
They
It is
are
so
obsessed
on
with
the
cars.
nose and like directly about literally the story of this first one, where they're in a band and one of the members dies in a car wreck and the band never goes anywhere.
Yeah.
I feel like it has to be related.
Right.
I think his name was Chris Quillen. As I said, like, I didn't mention it all in this booklet, but it did for one of their other albums. So I feel like it just has to be related.
Yeah. Yeah. I bet it was a very traumatic event for them.
Yeah.
And obviously, like, such a sad way to start your band.
Very somber. Yeah, it's not sad way to start both an album and a band. Definitely
Yeah.
scene setter of like, well, my best
Oh,
friend
shit.
just died,
Yeah.
and now our band's not going to go anywhere. I did do a little bit of research on this. About why maybe car wrecks so often. I was like, maybe there's something about Alabama.
Oh, yeah.
And it turned out, according to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, it went back quite a few decades. Alabama actually was above the average in fatality rates in car accidents compared to the rest of the United States. And it was in the top 5, actually, almost every year.
Wow.
Not only to when this album came out in, I think, 2003, but until, like, 2023.
Oh, damn.
Since
So
they started, like, recording,
historically
yeah.
bad for
Dangerous
cars.
to drive in Alabama.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah. But beyond that, as I said, it's a great album setter. I don't have much to say beyond that because beyond spoken word, there isn't, it's a mood, it's a set piece. And they immediately swap into the actual, like, southern rock in the next track of Ronnie and Neil. Yeah, Ronnie and Neil, the opposite of the first track. That is a hard rocking southern rock number. And
Yeah.
fitting of the name, that being Ronnie Van Zant and Neil Young that it's referencing to. Because I feel like of a band, Skinner with a dash of Neil Young sort of fits them.
You mean
The Drive-By Truckers is kind of a
Oh.
whole
Yeah, I could see that.
to an extent. Definitely, the like hard rocking side of Skinner, but then more of sort of the songwriting, storytelling
yeah.
of like a Neil Young or something. Maybe not as poetic,
Yeah.
but definitely like telling a lot of story and character and subject matter.
Yeah, they're very literal.
Very
usually.
literal. And this album is almost exclusively literal. This song, no difference. And it's a great track.
Yeah. It really
Tons
was.
of like great guitar work. The just heavy vocals of his. Like really, right? Like you get like real deep and kind of
Gravelly.
like gravelly with it. It's
Yeah.
great.
It's hard for me to understand. I'm not gonna lie. The spoken word was easier. for
Easier?
me.
Yeah. Well, that's what we're here for then, is to talk about what he's talking about
Yeah,
as
let's
well.
break it down.
Let's break that down. So Ronnie Neil, I already mentioned, that's Ronnie Van Zant, Leonard Skinner, and Neil Young
Yeah.
of Neil Young fame.
They got a. They got a
bit of a beef. So that's what he's talking about, because he's addressing a subject that he will do a lot throughout this album, and that he coined himself as the duality of the Southern thing.
Wait, we forgot that second reference to Leonard Skinner.
I think you would just die at this point. He mentions Leonard Skinner like 5 times in this song, if like not 15.
Second song.
Second song,
To
again, it's
mention
another
it.
Patterson had written. He's singing this time, not really like just speaking. And he's talking about kind of, well, is that the duality of the Southern thing, as he says a lot throughout this album, which
Yeah.
is 2 things happening at once in the same place that don't mesh well together. That makes it really complicated and confusing. Because a lot of this album, while it's a tribute and he's talking about stuff, it's also like his experience of living in the South.
Right.
And so he's seeing and hearing and noticing all these things and trying to grasp like what they mean together. Because he immediately is talking about race issues in the South in the start of the song, about how people aren't letting little kids go to school, and that's messed up. But then at that exact same time, he's like, well, now Wilson Pickett's coming to town and recording music down here.
Yeah.
Who's like a very prominent black man, so they're cool with that, but they can't let kids go to school.
Right.
And so he's seeing like 2 sides of it. Of like, look at, like, why won't you let them just be?
Yeah. Exists.
Then he talks about like Selma, Montgomery, Birmingham. That's the only reason anybody outside of the South is hearing of the South. Is something they're hearing about at the time. He's like, horrible race issues. But he's like, well, there's also these like other crazy things going on down here in the middle of nowhere. So we can like Muscle Shoals, all these musicians are coming in. Aretha Franklin's coming in and like recording music here in the South as well.
Yeah.
But like that never gets out that other than other musicians, you know, that it's also like some weird mecca for
Yeah, I'd never
great
heard of
soul
most
music.
Muscle Shoals, and then we watched a documentary on
Yeah.
it, which was really interesting. But yeah, like what was it? The Rolling Stones
yeah, oh yeah, a bunch of people come down.
were like obsessed with Muscle Shoals.
What they call the Muscle Shoals sound. It's probably worth noting at this point then that the guy singing here, his dad was one of what they called the Swampers, one
That's
of the
right.
session musicians in Muscle Shoals, recording with all these artists. His dad, David Hood, was the bass player in that
That's
group.
right.
And if the Swampers sounds vaguely familiar, maybe not from that, they are mentioned by Leonard Skinner in Sweet Home Alabama.
What
They
does it
say that they got the Swampers. In regards to Muscle Shoals got the Swampers, it sounds absolutely insane.
Right.
If
If
you
you
have
don't
no idea
know.
what that means.
Yeah.
And then if you're Q-Tal at home, though, you may not notice on the back of any of the Skinnerd albums actually like talking about recording there. Because when Skinnerd came in and did like a whole album in Muscle Shoals, every record label said, no, I don't want them.
Yeah. It wasn't really like a thing.
Yeah, so their like original attempt, which had, you know, Freebird and like everything on it, didn't get picked up until years later, and then they ended up re-recording it.
Yeah. And the Swampers, interesting. They're all white and nerdy.
Yeah.
That was so crazy.
Yeah, the other thing you had to go with all these like Aretha Franklin.
Yeah, see all these
And then
really
there's these-
soulful, passionate like albums or songs that are like you would think like, oh, that's Black Soul, but baby, that there's so
Some, like,
many
nerdy white dudes.
Yeah, so many like white technical
teenagers.
players. Yeah, totally. That they just rounded up from the
Yeah.
town. It was so interesting, but they did it.
Yeah, Wilson Pickett, the Stones, you know, a bunch of people, as you said, like coming down. I remember they had so in the documentary that like Paul Simon called them up, like his like record
Yeah.
head. He's like, get me the black guys on the, you know, Aretha Franklin album.
Yeah.
And his like manager's like, man, I got some news for you about that. It's actually a bunch of like nerdy white dudes.
What you imagine.
Yeah.
But I think it just shows like even though it was at a time of such like divisiveness and just horrible racism, like people can still come together and make
Yeah.
something really, really beautiful. But yeah, Muscle Shoals, it was a really great documentary. I don't remember the name of it.
Might have just been that.
Might have just been called Muscle Shoals, but it was great.
And so that then sets up the juxtaposition of the rest of the song and kind of the theme as well as the title of Ronnie and Neil. Because you had Leonard Skinner coming in for the music, and you had Neil Young writing music about it. About Alabama, what's wrong with you?
Right, yeah. Yeah, Alabama, you're supposed to be
Writing
odd and stuff.
Alabama, you know, the song Alabama
Yeah.
about how bad it is, as well
thought you were gonna
as Southern Man. He wrote two songs that are effectively the same thing about how much like it looks awful on the news and how terrible they are.
Yeah, and like specifically about like how religious the state is and the South in general is, and how they're not treating people like they
which
should
which
be.
they weren't. Like that's
Yeah.
and that's the duality of it. So they saw that, and then you had Skinner on the other side coming to be like, "Oh, the great music here," and coming in for that reason.
Yeah,
And then Skinner writing a rebuttal, if you will, in Sweet Home Alabama,
yeah,
saying, "Hope Neil Young will remember Southern Man. Don't need him around anyhow."
yeah,
So then you have this sort of what appears to be beef in the
Yeah.
music world, right? You got Neil Young writing about how bad she hates the South. Skinner coming up and talking about, "Oh, Neil Young, forget you, Southern Man, don't need you."
yeah.
But-
You don't know anything about.
But
Yeah.
then you dig in, it turns out they don't actually dislike each other. Ronnie Van Zant, massive Neil Young fan,
They love each
they
other.
actually really like Neil Young, and allegedly were friendly outside of this. And that's where we start to enter. Is it fact or myth? Because there's some wild things claimed in this song about their relationship. The first
Yeah.
one that I cannot find a valid source on is he claims that Neil Young wrote Powderfinger for Leonard Skinner
yeah.
to record while they were still alive, and then they died. I can't find a single source on that except other people online claiming that it's true.
That's crazy.
And not even from the song. Like, it's definitely a rumor because it's clearly out there and in stuff and in some books.
Is Powderfinger the one that's like, hey, hey, mama,
Yeah,
there's a
mhm.
white boy? That's crazy.
Coming up the river.
I don't know that I can imagine
As
Leonard
like a
Skinner
southern
singing
rock
it.
song, I can't
Yeah.
either.
I don't know about that one.
And as I said, like, it's in, like, you can find it even in, like, some, rock magazines, like, articles, or like an unauthorized biography. But I couldn't find a single, like, first-person source that Neil Young wrote that song for
It's
them.
probably just like an exciting rumor.
Yeah.
You know?
He also alleges that Neil was an honorary pallbearer at Ronnie Van Zant's funeral, which
Yeah.
I think I already mentioned that he died, and that's going to be a part of this. So spoiler alert for the second half of this album, but things don't go well for Leonard Skinner. I also couldn't find any actual factoids on that. I've also, we'll add a third one he doesn't mention here, that there's a strong rumor that, again, just like the Betamax guillotine thing,
Yeah.
rumors spread everywhere, that Ronnie Van Zant was actually buried in a Neil Young t-shirt. People say it was one of his favorites, and I kind of believe that part may be true, that one of his favorite t-shirts is
if
a
it
Leonard
was a
Skinner
plane
t-shirt.
crash, did he even have much, like, not to be morbid, but did he even have much of a body? Maybe
I
it
mean,
was a burning
multiple people
crash?
survived the plane crash,
Oh.
and he didn't get his head cut off by the VHS player.
Okay, then we probably
So
know.
yeah, well, somebody knows.
And the same thing with Neil Young being a pallbearer. It's like that should be verifiable information.
It should be, and the lack of it being
Maybe it wasn't a public
firsthand represented
ceremony.
suggests it's probably not true.
Why they make
But I have seen many live videos of Leonard Skinner, and he's wearing
Neil Young
Neil Young
merchandise?
t-shirt.
So, do you think that Patterson Hood is a creator of these rumors?
No.
Okay, you think he just
No,
heard
I think
it growing
these are.
up
I think
or
it's growing.
something?
Yeah, I think this is just schoolyard rumors.
That
Because you
is so
think
funny.
like out here you hear weird stuff by musicians. I can't imagine in Alabama.
Yeah, like
that's
where
these are
it's
the
really,
gods
really, really
of the earth.
huge. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's funny, right? Like, just to think of that, like, just because repeat it until it is true.
Oh, totally.
Doesn't
yeah.
matter at some point.
Yeah,
if he's
it
buried in
is
a
true
t-shirt or
at
not.
that
I
point,
don't
yeah.
know. It just becomes the fact. I don't know if it
Yeah.
changes anything. I still don't think he wrote Powderfinger for them. I think that's 1,000%
I'm
not
gonna
true.
listen to it after this and try to really, really imagine it being.
I've got multiple
Leonard
versions of
Skinner.
that song. So you can listen to anyone you want from different time periods of Neil Young trying to record it, and I guarantee you none of them sound like something Leonard Skinner would do. There's a lot of these stories out there out of like big songs allegedly written for another artist,
Yeah,
and I think a lot of the
Totally.
time it's convenient if they're dead.
true.
Like I've heard David Bowie wrote Golden Years for Elvis Presley. Conveniently happens right before Elvis dies.
That one I believe though because he sounds like he's emulating.
I've also
Elvis.
never heard Bowie say that. So I wonder if
Yeah.
that's another rumor where, it's kind of Elvis-y. Yeah, because it's like Blue-Eyed Soul, which
Exactly.
Elvis sang,
Yeah.
kind of like styling. So
Yeah, exactly. That's what I think.
I think
is.
it's just one of those, like,
Something
Elvis
that
met him.
seems believable.
Exactly.
Because
And that's why it works.
He's such an idol to
Yeah.
everyone, including
Yeah.
Bowie. But
Well, from that first grace of the duality of the Southern thing and our first in-depth look into Skinner and Neil Young, we changed scenes, going back to the road and cars to Highway 72, with a track called 72, This Highway's Mean. Yeah, that is a first non-Hood track we're going to the album. That's a Mike Cooley track. He's the other singer-songwriter of the band.
very different vibes.
Very different. He's going to bring a lot of what I'm going to call
country.
sadness to his songs. I would say, you say country, I think the vibe of country is there, that sort of
Yeah, totally.
depressed
yeah, yeah. It's a
subject matter
synonym.
to it. Yeah. Bringing in a lot more of the country to the rock part there.
Mm-hmm.
That said, a lot of good guitar work. Slower track, but there's still some good.
Yeah,
It's
it's
on
not
that
like
way.
totally sad feeling, but like the lyrics are definitely more
Yeah.
depressing. But also, he is such a different songwriter
Mm-hmm.
than Patterson Hood. Like, he definitely uses more like metaphors and
Yeah.
imagery versus Patterson Hood's like, I'm telling you, he's like a friend telling you a random ass story.
He is a man recanting a story to you over a beer. I
Yeah.
think it's his music
Yeah.
most of the time. Yeah, this one's definitely more of I mean, he's using a highway, Highway 72, which is mostly in Tennessee.
Okay.
It does touch Alabama and Mississippi. It's the only highway in the United States that starts in one state and ends in the same state, but goes into other states during it.
That's
So
weird.
it starts on one end of Tennessee, dips into Mississippi for a little bit, and then goes into Alabama, and then back into Tennessee, and then keeps going and ends in Tennessee again.
Oh, because Tennessee's at the top and it's like
Yeah,
long.
yeah, it's a long
That's
state.
right.
And it's definitely here used to describe a feeling of loneliness and of being in the middle of nowhere and somewhere you think sucks.
And monotonous as well.
Yeah, oh, very
I'm
monotonous.
back on this
Yeah.
fucking highway.
I'm on this long,
Yeah.
mostly straight highway through an area that nothing interesting is on, and
Yeah.
like he says, like it doesn't need any signposts or something in the song. Like you know exactly why you're on here and where you're going.
Yeah, right.
You're from here. Nobody else is coming through here. It just feels like depression incarnate.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I don't think it actually has much to do with the overarching theme beyond in this first act, the band never happened and you're stuck in Alabama.
True. Yeah.
So
I could see that.
it's emotionally tied to it. You know, you're like, I'm stuck here. It sucks.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. I just thought it kind of fit the vibe a little bit in that it's like
Yeah.
talking about Mississippi and Alabama.
Yeah. Southern
and-
rock.
Yeah, and it's very Southern rock. But I didn't think about, as far as fitting into the actual story. Because we're
Yeah.
supposed to be in a story
We're
right
in a
now.
story. I mean, it's very scene setting, right? It's that depression. It's that stuckness that we're supposed to be getting of the band never happening. And so the guy's just stuck in his Southern life. That's terrible.
Yeah.
And they keep that theme going with the next one, Dead, Drunk, and Naked. That's another Patterson Hood one.
Yeah.
Dead, Drunk, and Naked. While it sounds more upbeat, lyrically it's probably more downbeat again.
Oh, it's super depressing.
It's
I'm
fair.
debating if we count this as another death because I've got a death tracker going
Yeah,
on.
there's
I've
been a
got
few so
6
far in the
so far,
album.
which
Yeah.
is kind of insane. Do you think this counts as?
I think it's a little ambiguous, but
Yeah.
there's potential by the end of that song. He's talking about if you come to see me, tell me how well I'm dressed. That he
Yeah.
might be in a casket.
That's what I'm thinking too.
Patterson Hood said he wrote this about I wrote this song about a guy I used to work with who was pretty much the poster child for why you shouldn't sniff glue in junior high school.
Okay.
Which fits with the first line of the song about like
Yeah.
when I was supposed to sniff a lot of glue.
Next time to
Now
rehab.
it's time to rehab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, it definitely is like a song full of like addiction related.
Yeah. All types. Like of everything.
Yes.
It seems like, yeah. Jack
Yeah.
Daniels' his best friend.
Yeah, there is one part of the song where he says like we killed a bunch of Baptists.
Yeah.
Do you think that's also metaphorically?
Maybe because then he says like the Lord is coming soon, the South will rise again.
Yeah. Yeah. We got all them Baptists to die for our sins. Maybe that just means because
They're religious and yeah.
and you're not, but
Because
you
he
still
mentioned that earlier in the
praise about
song
it.
too, that if they don't like the way you live and they'll tell you how to live.
Yeah.
Some sort of anger towards organized religion.
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
Yeah. How does it fit in the
I think it's sort of like the last song. It's the same like, how you doing, buddy? Oh, not very good.
Yeah.
You're stuck here. You're sad. You're drunk. Dying.
Yeah. In the street.
I'm doing well. My psychiatrists tell me so.
Yeah.
Next, we saw back. We got another Mike Cooley song, an absolute barn burner of a track called "Guitar Man Upstairs." That song is flying down Highway 72 at like 100 miles per hour and barely keeping it between the lines.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's fast. It's rickety, but man, it's good.
Very, I feel like, yeah, old school rock.
Very much so. And again, I don't know if this connects to the story in any way, but it's great. God, it's got Fantastic Souls, and it's such a funny kind of premise, right? Like about this like old
Grumpy
man
old
living
man.
downstairs when some like wannabe rock star lives upstairs. So in that sense, it kind of does. The wannabe rock star upstairs is probably tied to our
The
protagonist.
fake band.
Yeah. Apparently, it's a true story.
What part?
Mike Cooley was the guitar man upstairs,
Oh, I see.
and he had a grumpy old man below him who'd call the cops on him all the time.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
I know. I was joking with Brian. I was like, it's probably like 5 p.m.
Yeah.
He's like, shut up.
And again, right? It's like banging on the ceiling with a broom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny. A good song.
You like that one?
Yeah.
Good one? Yeah.
Yeah, I like his songs that I feel like, I don't know. Maybe I just like his voice better than
It's-
Patterson Hood.
Definitely got a different kind of southern to it than Patterson Hood's
Yeah.
does. It's got the more traditional.
And it's so deep, too.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because if you see him, he's like a skinny, like not super tall, but
Yeah.
you know.
Very, very thin.
Yeah.
But he got
White
that
guy.
real slow
Yeah,
southern
exactly.
way
He got
of
a
talking.
drawl
Yeah.
in his singing voice.
Yeah. Yeah, good one. You know, small apartment living, tough when you're a guitarist.
It's tough in general, I
It's
think.
tough.
Yeah.
So we're moving on. You know, we've had some like kind of concept songs. The next one is going to approach something we had talked about earlier, directly head on. This track is The Southern Thing. History coming in, politics coming in, Southern coming in with this one. This is another Patterson Hood one, directly eyeing down the duality of the Southern thing. And what is the duality of the Southern thing? Well, he's going to tell you right off the bat, like 7 things it's not. He's like, ain't about this, ain't about that. First thing he actually says that it is about is the terrible humidity.
Yeah.
It's his own attempt at grappling what it means to be Southern and how to live with that.
Yeah, exactly.
Musically, very fun. It's a very aggressive sounding song, which fits with the lyrics being very aggressive. And I think the chorus is kind of evocative of almost like a Skynyrd kind of Southern rock at times of like, you know, don't mess with me kind of thing.
Yeah.
He's being a little threatening of it, like stay out the way of the Southern thing. A huge chip on his shoulder in this song is he's trying to grapple with how there is a lot of problems. It has a horrendous history, as he says. You have to stare that down. All right, he's like, you can't ignore that. You can't pretend that didn't happen. It happened. It still happens, and you have to know that to be able to understand anything else. He's like, you have to know that, and you have to also look at the other stuff too. It's the duality of the Southern thing. It can be terrible, and parts of it can be good.
Yeah, not everything is black and white. There's
Yeah.
always nuance, and yeah, it's very difficult because as people that don't like, I don't live in the South. I've never even really been to the South. Went to Florida once at
Yeah.
Disney World, I guess twice, but the first thing that comes to mind as far as like Southern pride and like, you know, that toxic thought of like they were right
Yeah.
in the Civil
Yeah,
War, which
yeah.
is just, it's insane to think about. And some people will even go as far to be like, well, it wasn't about slavery.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure it was.
Yeah.
So it's hard to, especially like when you're from there.
Yeah.
And you're not racist. It's like, okay, well, I like, maybe like you like your home.
Right.
It's
Yeah,
hard
and
to like be proud of it when it's stained.
And he said literally the stain. That's actually a good way to look at it, because he
Yeah.
talks about in there about like they hear your accent, and anybody not from the South immediately assumes you're stupid and that you're racist.
Yes. Yeah.
And he's
it's
like,
horrible.
no, we're not just all racist down here. We're not all stupid. Like,
Yeah.
this is just kind of what we sound like.
Exactly. Yeah. And there are so many good things about the South that is overlooked, or at least like overshadowed by the big stuff. And it's hard because I think that every place has this exact thing, but it's so much more apparent in the South.
Yeah. Yeah, because they have to deal with it. As you said, you have to always be constantly dealing with it. And then you always have to be like told about it.
Oh,
right?
100%.
Everybody else just knows that side of it.
Especially
So you have
being
to
from
live
like
with it.
Alabama
Yeah.
or Mississippi or
Yeah.
Arkansas, and it's like, oh, so you're a dumbass.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, so you're poor and a dumbass and racist. Awesome. But
And even beyond that, from Alabama, like if you're online and somebody says roll tide, they're not talking about football. They're talking about that you're inbred.
yes, I forgot about that too. Exactly. Like, imagine you're born in Alabama and it's like, yeah, no, I hear it. And it's hard because I think I would go the opposite way, where I would try to change my accent and I would try to avoid mentioning where I'm from in any conversation, just to avoid the assumptions and
Yeah, and I mean, people
annoyances,
do
but-
that. I've heard, people get out and try to change their accent when they leave.
Yeah, because they don't want to be associated with it.
And
But
in another podcast, I remember listening to a guy on the last podcast on the left talking about when he left Texas, he went to New York. And the first thing he tried to do was get rid of his Texas accent.
yeah,
And he said, it is impossible. And he said he would people would be really confused when he's talking, like, what country are you from? Because he's trying to get rid of the Texas one and effectively just relearn to sound American, if you will.
Yeah.
Just not Texan. And it leads to some like horrible hybrid of that and a non-existent
and also like
accent.
New York has an accent
Yeah.
too, so it's like even harder. Yeah, no, I hear it. But in this song, like, he's grappling with it and coming
Mm-hmm.
out as like, I'm still proud to be from here, and like, these are the things that I'm proud of.
Yeah,
these are
exactly.
the things that
I'm proud of these parts,
yeah,
and I can accept that these other parts are off.
or shitty. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
He's like, okay, I understand that. I'm
Yeah.
not saying they're not.
Yeah. And especially like I mean, I don't know if all of what he's saying is like true to his life. Maybe it's just hyperbolic, but he even like talks about, like not everyone had plantations.
Right, yeah, he's talking about like his
Grandpa,
great-grandfather
yeah.
who was shot at Shiloh, and he's like, dude, this guy was dirt poor.
Yeah.
Okay, like he enlisted for money.
Yeah, he didn't have slaves, never worked
Yeah.
on a plantation. And then I forgot what the other thing was. I can't remember. It's not important. But yeah, and the last part, he says Robert E. Lee, Martin Luther King. Both things that come out of the South.
Yeah.
One's fucking horrendous. And the other one is like really, really inspirational.
The duality of the Southern thing.
Yes, exactly. So
Yeah, I think I may have misspoke earlier when I said this album came out in 2003. I believe 2001. But somewhere around there, he wrote a rather large newspaper article. I don't remember the newspaper off the top of my head, but it's effectively about this. Like, he had like a big kind of popular article he wrote about kind of the flag. I think was kind of the piece of it. He mentions in here that he doesn't mess with that because it's not really the piece of the South that he's.
it's so hard.
Yeah.
It's so hard because when I see a flag, I'm like, oh, so you're racist, huh? But like, I get at the same time, it's like, that's what they have. But
Yeah.
at the same time, what they have is bad.
Yeah.
You
tough.
know, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah, well, don't worry. It's about to get harder and maybe more complicated as we step into the three great Alabama icons.
Oh, by the way,
Yeah.
no deaths.
No
I
deaths
just want
in
to
that
throw
one.
that out there.
We will get to a death maybe in this one. We'll explain. Hey, babe, want to know how to make a hit record?
How?
I think you need to put a 7-minute long spoken word track in the center of your album.
So this is crazy because these last few songs we listened to like a little bit of it to jog my memory.
Yeah.
And this one, I wouldn't let him turn it off because I was just so enthralled. Like, I don't remember hearing this song and then, like, listening to it, you know, sitting down and paying attention to it. I was like, holy shit. Like, literally jaw dropped multiple
Yeah, it's fascinating,
times.
right? Because again, it's 7 minutes long. It doesn't feel like it, and it's fascinating every single time I listen to it. Because it's so interesting and maybe frustrating. So the song, as I mentioned, the three great Alabama icons is literally that. It's about what he considers to be the three great icons of Alabama from when he was
Yeah.
growing up in the 70s.
Right.
Is that when dinosaurs still roam the earth.
Yeah.
The first one I mentioned is Ronnie Van Zant, singer for Leonard Skinner, not actually from Alabama.
Yeah.
He is from Florida.
Yeah.
But because he wrote Sweet Home Alabama, the connection's just too strong at this point.
Yeah.
He claims in the song here that Ronnie Van Zant didn't feel like it was necessarily reflective of him and his opinion of Alabama. More
Yeah.
of he's showing his like parents' feeling of the South.
Right.
Similar to Okie from Muskogee is the example he uses for another song like that. I don't know if that's true. Some members of Skinner have shown some support for George Wallace, somebody we'll talk about here very shortly.
Uh-huh.
It was mentioned in the song. Specifically, in there says, in Birmingham, they love the governor. Ooh, ooh, ooh. In Sweet Home Alabama. If you don't remember, it's in there, trust me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't sing it. You just said it, so I got confused. But
I don't
yeah.
need Warner or whoever coming after me.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's about it. He doesn't really go too far into Ronnie Van Zant here, probably because the rest of the album goes like, real in depth.
Yeah.
Then he switches over to Bear Bryant, who I think this is his only call out in the whole album. We mentioned Roll Tide earlier. This is about Alabama
We
football.
did. Mm-hmm.
Bear Bryant, coach, famous for kind of a checkered hat, often with a matching blazer. Very successful coach.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, he's got to be like super
there's
duper
58 to
famous
82, 6 national championships in like 25 years. Pretty successful. Mm-hmm. And as he
That's
said,
good.
like, there's nothing bigger than football in Alabama.
Yeah.
Though he says, as to quote him, he was a pussy boy in school who didn't play football. And said he had a guitar, which he said was not a good substitute with the women.
Yeah. Right. They didn't like it as
And
much.
and another
as the
reflective
football.
piece of his history, and there he says that he didn't listen to Leonard Skinner in high school. He actually rebelled against that. 'Cause
Yeah.
He was not. He's like, I'm not
Not touching that.
doing the lame stuff. He says when years later that he can kind of appreciate.
I mean,
it
I
was.
feel like I've done that so many
Yeah.
times. As a teenager, you don't want to listen to what's popular or what your parents like,
Yeah.
and then later you're like, never mind.
But those two people are really just appetizers for the person who gets the bulk of this song. The
Yeah.
third and objectively worst icon of Alabama, George Wallace.
Yep.
George Wallace, as we referenced earlier, was the governor. Mentioned in the Leonard Skinner song, and oh boy, I'm just gonna blatantly put out there, horrendous human being.
I never heard of him, but it sounds bad.
As they say in the song, for all practical purposes, he was the governor of Alabama from 1962 until 1986, including a brief section where he couldn't run for
Re-election. Yeah.
so he had his wife run in his place.
Which is
And she
insane.
won, and then they changed the law so then he could run again after.
So crazy.
And his wife won by a landslide. Like, it wasn't like anything close or anything. Like, they
Yeah.
loved this guy. So the first time he ran, all right, he didn't win.
Okay.
And he ran against a rather racist individual.
Uh-huh.
And he was like, dang, my not racist enough platform didn't resonate. So next time it came around, he ran again, and he said, I'm going to go racist to the max.
I'm racist.
Yeah. And
That's
it
crazy.
worked.
That's crazy.
One of the most famous lines ever that should probably be just engraved in his tombstone is as famous. In the name of the greatest people that have ever trod the earth, I drew the line in the dust and tossed the gauntlet before the feet of tyranny. And I say, segregation now, segregation tomorrow, segregation forever. This is the man standing in the way of the schools, letting the little black girls not come in.
That's disgusting.
That's George Wallace. That, by the way, where he gave that speech was the exact same spot Jefferson Davis was sworn in as president of the South. and was written by a speechwriter who was the head of the Klan.
Oh my god. So he tapped
That's not a
in
metaphor. He literally was the head of the Klan.
like a David Duke type?
Yeah.
Oh my god. So he like tapped into the
Mm-hmm.
experts
Yeah.
in the history.
Yeah. Yeah. He tapped in. He's like, if I'm going to go full racist, I'm going to go full racist.
Oh my god.
So the wife thing I mentioned, yeah, they had a rule that you couldn't serve 2 consecutive terms
Okay.
in Alabama at the time, which is very interesting. That's kind of a strange sort of
Yeah.
thing. Like, I can understand term limits, but it's weird to have a term limit of 1.
Yeah,
And then
like
also,
you can
like,
run later.
And then you can just run later.
Yeah,
It's
that's
sort of
weird.
strange. Whatever. So they ran his wife, and then when she was there, they got rid of that. So then he could just keep running.
So when she was governor, he was basically
He was
governor.
just basically
Oh
governor.
my god.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
crazy.
Um,
Also,
mhm.
sad for his wife.
Yeah.
Horrible life. You gotta spend your life with this.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, they talk about it in here, like, the idea, was he racist, was he not? I think faking racism is somehow maybe worse. It's definitely not better.
Yeah, it's so cringe because
It's-
it's like being racist is horrible, but you're
Yeah.
literally only being racist because
To
it,
win. Because
it
you can literally,
benefits
you can
you.
just draw a line in it and see where he went from not super racist to extremely racist, and it's
'Cause he
100%.
saw that it was
Because
resonating.
it's how you win
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, that's horrific. That's like worse.
That is worse.
That's so much worse.
I got another good quote here from around the time in the 60s. What do you want left behind? You want a great big marble monument that says George Wallace, he built? Or do you want a little piece of scrawny pine laying there that says George Wallace, he hated? That was said by Lyndon Johnson when they met in the White House.
That's crazy.
President Lyndon Johnson, for the younger folks out there, may not remember. That when the president is calling you that racist
Yeah, back then.
in the 60s,
Yes, yeah. Yeah. It's not good. It's really, really not good.
it's also something I thought was interesting. They don't touch on this, so I'm just going to bring in some more great, interesting George Wallace bits. He ran for president multiple times.
Thank God he didn't get it.
Notable, it was in 1968 when he ran as an independent. Okay, so he wasn't a Democrat, he wasn't a Republican, he ran as an independent, and he won 5 states.
Ew.
Okay? 5 states
Do you remember what
had
they
them.
are?
I do not have them on hand, but I do know that there was a couple others who were, like, real close to flipping over to him. This is the most recent time to this date, 2025, that an independent has even won a state, and he won 5 of them.
Oh my God.
Okay?
America, why were you so
If
racist?
either he or the Democrats in that election had, like, won another state or two, Nixon wouldn't have even gotten 270 electoral votes to become president.
Might have been a
and
good
then-
thing.
and-
you know what I mean?
And then Congress would have had, the House would have had to step in
Yeah.
and, like, choose an election, like a winner at that point. We would have had a legitimate, probably close to constitutional crisis. We also may have had some slightly different things in Sweet Home Alabama, since they mentioned Watergate in that same part where they mentioned George Wallace. So
Yeah.
there's some more alternate timeline history for you. But yeah, that's crazy, right? 5 states.
That's scary.
And that's remember, that's during the very, very racist
yes,
him time
total
period, too.
segregation.
This is definitely, he hasn't flopped back yet.
bathrooms. That's crazy.
But we're going to get into potentially why he flopped back.
I honestly, scum. Like,
Scum,
I think
yeah.
that,
In 1972, when he's running for president again, because remember, he's governor, but he's also always running for president. And he would often say he's not going to, and then do it again. You see that all the time in elections still to this
Yeah.
day. While he was on the campaign trail, he was actually shot 4 times. Somebody tried to assassinate him.
oh my God.
And honestly, I think that this may have been what busted his brain. Or he met God, or something happened to him.
His
when he got
his
shot.
mortality
Yeah.
came into play.
And he ended up in a wheelchair. Like, it actually made him a paraplegic.
oh shoot.
Yeah. And then we enter another quote from 1979 from George Wallace. I have learned what suffering means in a way that was impossible. I think I can understand something of the pain black people have come to endure.
Oh my god.
I know I
hate them.
contributed to that pain, and I can only ask your forgiveness. Delivered at a Black Baptist church. So
He
if you
should have been
remember
shot
in
more.
the song, he talks about that he swaps, and what happens?
He got
wins a
90% of the black vote.
Yep. He comes back around as this sort of reborn figure
Yeah.
of like, I've seen the error of my ways, and it worked, and he got elected again.
That's crazy. Do you think
And-
he was genuine, though? I don't. I don't think he
I mean,
was genuine.
yeah, you can't tell, right? Because he switched to being racist and then not racist, so clearly both of them are just sort of a lie. You know, he went full on, as people do when things go wrong. He's like, I'm a born-again Christian, like, extra religious, and he, you know, rescinded his racist takes, which I guess, I mean, he could have not done that.
Yeah, I guess it's
But
better
I mean,
than...
it's
I don't
better
know.
than being always racist, I guess, but it doesn't make him, like, good.
No, it makes me more mad, and like
Yeah.
obviously, black people back then can form their own opinions, and they clearly did, and that's awesome. But for me, looking back on it, like with review mirror type stuff, I find it more annoying because it just means like he's so disingenuous
Yeah.
that
Mhm.
like he doesn't. It doesn't matter to him
Yeah.
whether he's bad or good.
Yeah.
And I find that really distasteful.
Yeah. But, I mean, yeah, no, it's bad.
It's not good.
He, after winning in 82, he ended up appointing, like, more black people to positions in Alabama
That's good.
than most other states, including northern states, were doing at that time.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, he at least stuck to his word. Like,
Yeah.
he didn't just use them as a way to re-win and then, you know, walk
Not
off.
give back.
But,
Yeah, that's awesome. But
screw
at the
him.
same time, like he's a horrible being. But I'm
Yeah.
glad that he did at least try to do right. But also the whole northern thing. It's like there's so many less black people.
Yeah.
In northern
Yeah.
states.
Yeah.
So, but I still think that he could have, like you said, he could have not appointed black people,
That's true.
but he did.
Yeah,
So-
he definitely, hitting it. Maybe violence is the answer.
No.
No?
No. He's looking up at us right now.
He is looking up at us, as the end of the song says. He's in hell now because he died in 98. Make sure you mark that on your
I
death
did.
counter
I
there,
did.
Emerald.
I got one more.
And this whole 7-minute song is a setup for the next track, entitled Wallace, which is told from the devil's perspective.
Yeah, can we talk about the last lyric of that song
Yeah.
where he says, "Fortunately for him, the devil is also a southerner."
Yeah.
That goes so hard. That my jaw literally dropped at
Yeah.
that line.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
So now we're hopping another Passion Hood track. The companion piece of that one, Wallace. 'Cause the devil's got a Wallace sticker on the back of his Cadillac.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, that's a cold one. That's a hot one, if you will. Kind of slow.
Oh my god, he
Ballroom
said
blues
the
track.
hell got hotter when George Wallace came. That's insane.
Yeah, that's a good track, told from the perspective of Satan.
Yeah.
Welcoming old George down to hell.
Wild.
Yeah.
Wild.
I guess
Yeah.
hell's just a place for kiss-ass politicians. Like that. I like when he says that he hopes when he got up to the pearly gates, a black man stood in his way.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, oh yeah. Yes. Yeah.
And
It was a fun song.
Yeah, take another drink. Or the Alabamas at the end of that, evocative of Sweet Home Alabama.
So much Skinner. I was gonna
Yeah.
start counting them, but then I realized that it would be me marking every 2
Yeah.
seconds. So
History-wise, I mean, it covers the same stuff the last one did, effectively.
I think it's a partner.
It's
song
definitely a
for
partner song.
sure.
In the same way, like the first two kind of like link into each other. This one,
Yeah.
the 7-minute long Alabama Icons, just sets up this fun little ditty.
It's like a little prologue.
It's a little prologue for a shorter song.
Yeah.
Fun one. Yeah, you don't get too many songs from the perspective of Satan. You know,
No.
the Stones did it.
I'm sure there's a lot. We don't need to think
Tenacious
about
D.
them.
And then this. And then we come to what is the last song on Act 1. That is a title called Zip City. This is a Cooley song. Another Cooley piece.
My favorite so far.
Favorite so far. Definitely another good scene setter. A I'm going nowhere kind of song.
Yeah, it's funny because at the beginning you think like, oh, it's almost like a love song, right?
Yeah,
Of like
yeah.
your daddy don't like me.
Yeah,
But we'll run
so,
away together.
Like small town, like
Yeah.
vibe, like yeah, girl, your daddy don't like me. I don't know what his problem is.
Yeah,
'Cause he's like
totally.
pulling his car out of the ditch.
yeah.
He's like, yeah, your dad's the preacher at the local church.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder what he doesn't like about you.
Yeah, that song is so good though because for one, it's just like you said, it just sets such a good tone of
Yeah.
like because we both are from we're both from a small town, so it's just like you can relate to it so much, even though
Yeah.
like we're not from the South, obviously, but like him talking about the siblings, and it's like your sister's like talking sweet to everyone in town but
Yeah,
me,
yeah.
and how like the brothers,
The first in the family to be born with 10 fingers and 10 toes, which is good because he needs him to keep the closet door closed.
It's such a good, yeah. Oh my god, especially in the South.
Yeah, and then and you hear that he's so grizzled in this song,
Yeah.
and then he reveals the ages of the character. He's 17.
yeah, I know. I was expecting it to be like in the 20s, like
Yeah.
shit's going nowhere. But yeah, he's 17 and she's 15.
Yeah, his life is already over.
yeah. Yeah, it's but yeah, it's so good and
Yeah.
like it's it really is like to me it really was such a big flip of like going from unrealistic like romantic like how the country songs usually are like
Yeah.
your daddy don't like me but we'll run away together to literally like your daddy don't like me, I'm kind of a piece of shit but so are you.
Yeah.
So is everybody else and also I don't like you.
Yeah, and he's like, it's just not worth it. You know what, girl?
Yeah.
Like, just keep your pants on.
Yeah.
Because if you take them off, like, this is what will
I'm
be
gone
forever.
anyway.
So
Yeah.
I'm just leaving.
Yeah, well, actually, he even says, like, you can take your pants off, I'll be gone by the
Yeah.
time they hit the floor, and you're going to be standing there in that same position for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Basically saying, like, I'm on my way out, but you're
Mm-hmm.
going to be doing this for the rest of your life. It's, like, such a burn. The whole
Yeah.
song was just, like, ouch, man.
He's got his souped up muscle car.
Yeah, he's on his
And
way.
he's leaving.
He's heading out.
10 miles to the gallon.
He ain't got no
And
good
I ain't got no
intentions.
good intentions.
It's a great song.
And that's the cap for Act 1.
We've got 8 deaths so
yeah.
far.
Yeah. That are quantifiable.
Yeah. Confirmed. Confirmed deaths.
Probably 3 times that Leonard Skinner references.
I'm not gonna count. I'm certainly not gonna count Act 2 because I think there's even more.
It's all Skinner. Almost all of the time.
So I'm gonna be marking every 2 seconds if that was the case.
Yeah, and as I said, like, so next episode we're gonna go through Act 2, and if you've listened to this album, a bunch, you'll notice we missed a song. It was Birmingham, which on the deluxe version they actually moved. I mentioned at the top that there were 2 tracks that are moved to a bonus disc to keep the vinyl track order fitting.
Right. To fit on.
And there's also typically one that goes right here after Zip City. That's like a segue track. I'm blanking on top of my name. We'll get to it next episode. We'll put both Birmingham and that when we cover like the bonus material. Even though
At
they're,
the end?
yeah, even though they're technically songs in the original, track list's running order, but we're here reviewing that now. Yeah, moved.
Moved in Birmingham.
Which moved honestly is just the preview, I guess, of when we do get to that. It's actually great, like, segue. It's the flip from this, timeline to the other one,
Yeah.
if you will. But you'll have to stay tuned next time to hear what happens in that other timeline. Spoiler alert,
More deaths.
those deaths and Skinner references are just going to keep climbing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think? What do you think of side A so far, or disc 1, side A and B?
I liked it. I mean, it's not. I'm not like I like the drive-by truckers, but you're definitely more in tune with them.
Yeah.
And we've heard this album a million times. Because what happens is Brian will put it on, and so I have to listen to it over and over and over again. So I know I've heard this album a lot, but I don't think I've ever dissected it and sat there and like actually listened to the lyrics. So I'm glad we're doing this episode because I've already been really pleased with like interpreting the lyrics and understanding what they're actually saying, and they're not just rambling. Because I don't know. I think Patterson Hood, I respect him a lot, but I feel like my brain just tunes him out a lot.
It's because he's telling a story.
Yeah.
Yeah, so unless you're like directly paying attention a lot of the time, you may just slip. Because if you miss like half of it, and you're like, I don't know what he's talking about now, especially. But
totally. Maybe I got the iPad kid brain or something. But but I really like it, and I really like it musically too. I think it's,
very much so.
They're really, 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 really talented.
It's an assault of guitars. Mm-hmm. Just even on like the slow ones, there's still like 4 guitars. It sounds like. And just
and it's not like
solos
super duper complex. It's just like it meshes really well together. It's just like good old fashioned rock and roll.
Yep. Yeah, it's a tribute, and it is that.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I think is the best kind of tribute a lot of times.
Oh yeah.
Tons of growing plays, and you know what? I think the second act gets even more rockin'.
I'm so scared because I know it's coming, and I cry at the end every time. So
Yeah.
get excited
get
to
ready.
hear me weeping.
Yeah. But so this has been Act 1 of Southern Rock Opera. This has been the return of Tapes You Leave Behind.
We're back, baby.
We're back. Again, my name is Brian,
I'm Emerald.
and we'll catch you next time.
Bye.